It's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. My clink was not clinking, okay? So if you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Okay. I think it's been like almost a week, like 5 days since I posted a video. I had my bridal shower this weekend, so I wasn't able to come on here for brunch with y'all on Sunday. So if y'all wanted to see what brunch was looking like, I posted 2 pictures on the community wall. I haven't posted anything else to my Instagram, so I guess y'all got it first, okay? But be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. If you didn't watch the last video and you was wondering where I was for Sunday brunch, that's where I was, okay? So I think we're going to go ahead and review Ready to Love first. Hey, T, I love that you were here first in the comments already. I think we're going to review Ready to Love first, and then we'll talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I hope that more of y'all come, but if y'all don't, I mean, it's fine. I just figured we was going to go ahead and get this out of the way since I am very, very late to these reviews. So another thing, some of y'all might be wondering why I'm not reviewing Kandi and the Gang. Because when I talked to y'all last, I told y'all that I would be reviewing 3 shows. I told y'all I was going to review Kandi and the Gang, Love and Marriage Huntsville, and also Ready to Love is what I was telling y'all. But I watched the episode, you know, I had like an hour before I was coming on live to talk to y'all, and I watched Kandi and the Gang. And although the episode was good, I just don't feel like that's a show I want to add to my roster right now. I got too much going on off YouTube. Kandi show is just a cute little show, you know, just to watch, but it's not nothing that I want to take notes on, make graphics for, come and talk to y'all for an hour, all that other stuff. I don't feel like doing that. So if y'all ever want to talk to me about Kandi and the Gang, y'all just let me know. It might be a little patter, little, you know, because it's dry and not giving a little patter at the beginning if y'all want to talk about it, or I might even tweet about it. I tweeted like once last week about the show, so that's why we're not reviewing Kandi and the Gang today. But I think we should go ahead and get into Ready to Love, okay? And if you haven't already, do me a favor and like the video. And while we're live, I know y'all got some friends that y'all be talking to about this show. Tell them to come be friends with us. Okay, we have brunch on Sundays, bottomless mimosas, okay, and then sometimes we meet throughout the week. So go ahead and share the video with people who y'all know also like this show. All right, my graphics are all out of order. So y'all do me a favor and like the video while I put them in order real quick. All right. Y'all know I didn't put them in order that fast, but you know what? For the sake of getting this shit on the road. Because that's how I feel. For the sake of getting it on the road, let's get it on the road, okay? Also, I'm drinking, because some of y'all be wondering what I'm drinking. Although my drinks are not sponsored, I would love for them to be sponsored one day. But I am drinking that Flybird margarita wine from Target. I don't like sweet drinks, but for people, like, this is a sweet drink. So if you are a sweet drinker, this is it, okay? This is very light, very refreshing. Let me correct myself. I don't like sugary drinks. This right here, okay, I think it's right on the verge of, like, if you do a little bit more, it'll be syrupy, but for now, it's perfect. I just want to tell y'all what I was drinking. Nola said Kandi and the Gang does not have enough substance outside of what was known before the show premiered. Facts. I agree. Thank you, DM and then Abby. Girl, I went back and I downloaded a good picture of Ace's ex just for you, because the picture that I had in here at first was not cutting it, okay? So I hope the picture that I have actually works out well. So, Ready to Love, y'all. Where are we at? Yeah, Ready to Love. So, we're in the ladies' lounge this week. The ladies are tasked with having the men meet their exes, okay? We figured this out last week, okay? Because they left us on a cliffhanger. Hey, DeKia. They left us on a cliffhanger, and they were like, Eric touched me and made me very uncomfortable. So I think he should work on himself. They let us go an entire week just guessing exactly what happened. Okay. And for those of you who just watch my videos, I hope y'all watch the Ooh Ladies First panel, because we actually talk about gossip there. I don't like to talk about gossip on my channel. It's just ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. But I do talk about gossip with the ladies once a week. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because we actually a little bit more in depth about the things that happened with DeKia and Eric off camera. So some things happen, okay? We find out, this is a scenario if y'all did not watch the episode. Eric and DeKia were posing for a picture. The other couples were there. Eric stood behind DeKia, and DeKia says, "Oh, we're doing like an old school prom pose." And he said, "This ain't no old school prom pose." Oh my gosh, I cannot say that. And whenever he does that, he like motions his hand upward, but we really don't know what he did. They both allude to her feeling uncomfortable and leaving it at that, right? So DeKia says, "I'm a lady, don't touch me like that." My assumption, y'all, I was unsure about Eric from the get-go. Y'all chime in and tell me if y'all really liked Eric, because I know some of y'all did. Some of y'all really liked Eric from jump, and something about him just did not sit right with me, okay? But I told y'all last week I would not be surprised if he, grabbed her breast or something like that, trying to show out in front of the other men, trying to mark territory, trying to flex and make it seem like he has a level of comfort that other men don't. And for that reason, I don't think that DeKia is wrong at all for cutting him off, because what you're not going to do is mark territory in front of me while we dating all these other people. Now, the next question comes up. Okay, the next question that comes up, some people want to know, do we think that DeKia was only complaining because she was embarrassed, or do we think that DeKia truly was uncomfortable? But low key, y'all, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. That's my response. I don't think that it really matters if it was for the sake of, "Oh, I'm embarrassed that you did it in front of people," versus "I'm uncomfortable." Either way, I think that he was doing too much and he was violating. So that's where I stand. So basically, the only thing I will say that I disliked about the way that DeKia handled this situation, and I feel like she was trying to be respectful of Eric, is neither one of them wanted to say exactly what happened. And you could tell Tommy was kind of just like, "Here we go. Here we go with this again." Because y'all know we got PTSD from feeling Shiloh from last season. Look at his face, y'all. As soon as he heard that, he was like, "Oh, really? Who said, well, really?" But I also feel like he was lightweight annoyed because he thought that it was going to be some drama. Hey, Kenya. But yeah. So anyway, he ends up talking to Eric. We'll go right in him talking to Eric because they do show a date before that. But we might as well just get into him talking to Eric. And y'all be patient with me because, like I said, my graphics are out of order. So he goes right into talking to Eric. And Tommy says, "Yeah, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?" Eric says, "Oh, Tommy, I don't feel good at all." He's talking all soft like this. "I don't feel good at all, Tommy. To be honest with you, I don't." And we still get no direct answer on what happened. We only can assume by using logic. He says he motioned up, his hands went up, up, and she was uncomfortable with that. So I'm assuming his hands went up, up to DeKia's big old bitties. So he admitted to whatever he did. But what I thought was interesting, and this is why I told y'all I wish that y'all were a part of the conversation if y'all were not for Ooh Ladies First panel. While Eric comes to Tommy and says, "I don't feel good, Tommy. You're such a positive space for me. I really appreciate it." On the other side of things, text messages were leaked. And he was pissed off at DeKia. He was not all soft talking like this. Go check out the video on Jamie That's Me's channel if you want more details on the breakdown of it. But He basically called her a gerbil mouth. He said that he wanted all the effing smoke. And I don't think he felt like he was wrong for what he did. I think he was more so annoyed with the way that DeKia was the situation. He heard about the situation through somebody else first. So I think he was more so embarrassed that his name was shitted on. But I feel like, Eric, all that is so unnecessary because no matter what you did, um, DeKia protected you. She protected you on the show because she still didn't tell us exactly what you did, even though you didn't feel very good at all. So I'm just like, come on. Um, T says, I would have believed Eric in that moment if the episode hadn't come out after the screenshots of the text conversation. She would have believed Eric if the episode didn't come out after. Oh, yes. Right? Right. He didn't want to be held accountable. Exactly. Thank you, DM. He did not want to be held accountable for inappropriately touching her. He thought that it was going to be something that was going to be laughed off. And I just don't understand people who could disagree with DeKia setting boundaries for her body. I feel like if she would have allowed that to happen, that sets the tone for men overstepping boundaries, laughing shit off, women laugh shit off because they don't want to make something bigger than it is. They don't want to make it real that they've been violated or made felt uncomfortable. And those are little things like grabbing booties, grabbing titties, everything else. So I encourage y'all, like DeKia, everybody else, men, women, everything in between, take control of your own body, set them boundaries. But yes, Harold, no, she didn't bash him at all. Okay. So from this situation, I think we can go ahead and get into the exes, which was the fun part of the conversation. Let's talk about Laverne Joy. Wait, yeah, Laverne Joy and Clifton. Okay. First date. So this is what I appreciated. And I always tell y'all every single season, oh, y'all be watching the reviews, okay? And I know y'all be trickling down to my little old channel, okay? I know y'all be watching the big channels, but I know y'all trickle on down to my channel, so don't play. I've asked y'all for seasons and seasons. We need to know who these exes are and why they are an ex. It is so annoying to get these exes on the show and not really know exactly what the tone was or why there was an ending to their relationship, because it is an opportunity for these men to learn more about the women, sort of like we did with Tina. Okay. But I felt like they was trying to play Clifton in this scene a little bit. Y'all tell me if y'all agree, but I felt like they were trying to play Clifton. So Laverne shows up first. Okay. And I have to shout out my girl Bondi. Bondi has really, really, really good judgment because she peeped that it was something wrong with Laverne way early on. And at first, I didn't think it was anything wrong with Laverne. I was like, no, he's not doing anything. Why are the ladies tripping? No, not Laverne. But it's something wrong with Laverne. And it was made very, very clear in this episode. Hey, Sam. Okay. I'm not gonna rush today because I want to sip my wine while I talk to y'all. Y'all know we usually hop on for brunch. I be in a rush. I be having my mimosa in hand, my water in hand, because I got things to do on a Sunday. Tonight, I ain't got too much to do. Don't know shows come on. I'm gonna take my time and sip this wine. So Laverne, he shows up and he's immediately like being all jokey. He's trying to push Clifton out. Yeah, the other guy, he don't matter. Yeah. You gonna choose me, right? And I find what it is about Laverne that's dangerous to me. And y'all tell me if I'm tripping. But I'm always, always, always very cautious of overly charismatic people. Y'all know I love true crime. Y'all know I love listening to documentaries, serial killer, cult stuff, missing persons, all the good stuff. Okay. And one thing about all of the cult leaders that they have in common is that they have these very, very charismatic personalities. And they're always trying to win people over. And that's what we were getting from Laverne from day one. And that's why I didn't peep it, but I should have. Pay attention to how charismatic Laverne was being with Joy's ex, Sean. So, and the only reason why he has a connection with Joy is because they just friends. They ain't got nothing else going on. Joy has no reason to get to know him on a deeper connection because they're just friends, just somebody for her to talk to until her and Clifton can be together at the end. I have to salute Joy and Clifton for going about this show the way that they have so far, because I have to say, there hasn't been any couple this season who's just been locked in, because it's like, what are you on the show for, right? But anyway, Clifton comes, and as soon as Clifton sits down, he says, so what's the relationship with your ex? Like, how often do you talk? You see each other on holidays, or you talk every week? What is it? Joy looks at Sean. Sean looks at Joy. And Clifton says, okay, somebody answer. And when he does that, that's whenever Sean, Joy's ex, says, you know, I have to say, with we're just friends. You know, she knows I want the best for her, but I have to say, jealousy won't get you very far, Joy. And Clifton says, I don't think that's me being jealous. And Sean says, well, the way you asked the question makes me think that you're being jealous. And then Clifton just simply explains in plain English that a shoulder to cry on could eventually be a peen to ride on or lay on, whatever you want to call it. And I have to agree with Clifton. I feel like this scene, or the way that Sean acted, was made to make Clifton look like he was insecure. But Clifton literally was asking all of the questions that I be asking when I'm sitting on the couch. Why y'all not together? Y'all say y'all friends. How often do you talk? If Clifton and Joy are going to be together after this, I need to know how often we gonna be having these dinners. How often you gonna be third wheeling? You gonna be calling her phone? I need to know stuff like that. So I don't think he was wrong for that at all. So ultimately, the day ends. Of course, they really don't show too much with Laverne. And the verdict from Sean is Clifton is definitely more her type, but he feels like Clifton comes with a risk just based on some of the jealousy tendencies that he showed from his previous relationships. And he also thinks that Vern is superficial. So he peeped it very early on that Vern is superficial as well. So from that, y'all know what it's gonna be. Joy was, hearts all in her eyes. Yeah, Clifton's gonna be the one to take me to the mountaintop. He's gonna jump off the cliff with me. Like, she just imagined this fantasy world of her and Clifton. And I'm not shocked at all, Joy. You told us a couple episodes ago that you was basically done dating all these guys. She said, yeah, I'm gonna start weaning y'all off. So she is ready to be with Clifton. Clifton ready to be with her, but he is playing the game much, much better than she is. So now, y'all, I think we can go ahead and talk about the one that get on my damn nerves. If I can find a picture of her. This girl, y'all know who I'm talking about. Here we go. I'm talking about Carmen. Carmen gets on my nerves because she has this inflated sense of self. There's nothing wrong with being confident. I ain't never knocked nobody for being confident. Confidence is key. Carmen is irritating because I feel like her confidence is fake. It's a facade. Okay, it's a facade. It ain't real. It's cap, whatever y'all want to call it. She compares herself to other people all the time. She trying to make it seem like she that girl. You really can't be that girl if you're worried about all the other girls, Carmen. We don't care about the density of your hair. We don't care about the contacts in your eyes. We don't care about the whenever you're sitting at the dinner table. We don't care about the whenever you're sitting at the dinner table. Okay? We don't care. The big beauty supply store, powerful necklaces, we do not care. I cannot. Okay? So we meet Carmen. and we meet her uncle, grandpa, her ex. When I seen this scene, I was like, I know damn well this ain't no family meetup. Ain't this supposed to be meeting exes? Y'all, hey J Dub, this was, he was looking like a family member. Handsome man, okay? Handsome old man. Looked like he had some money. And I was like, okay, so maybe this is her sugar daddy. Is that how you met him? But then I always think to myself that sugar babies are like hella young. So I was like, was she this man's sugar baby? But that would actually make sense, y'all. That type of man would actually fit Carmen best. Reason being is because anytime you date somebody way older than you, it don't matter how lame you are. If the flex is that he's dating somebody young with big old titties and is always in the mix, that's the flex. Whereas other guys, if they see the powerful necklace, they gonna know it's from a beauty supply store. But whatever. So we meet her ex Marcus. Like I said, old, handsome man. This date is with Paul and Donovan. Now, I thought that seasoned is right, DM. Seasoned. Right. We're not going to forget that part, C. Golden. She sat there and was rubbing her titties to the ex before the other two guys showed up. Carmen is on the show, The Network. Okay. I don't know exactly what she does for work, but Carmen's on the show, The Network. I think that she was probably feeling Eric the most just because she knew him and he was the lowest hanging fruit. But she don't want Donovan like that. Donovan don't want her like that. They don't go together at all. Okay? They don't go together at all. Paul might be a little bit more your speed, Carmen. I don't know what type of party promoter, hot girl they trying to act like you are, but I think that a computer analyst might be right for you. I'm not understanding. I wish they went into more detail about who it is that you portray to be in the streets of Potomac. I really would like to know. And that's not saying you ain't got no clout. I just want to know, where is it coming from? I just want to know. So anyway, Donovan's there and Marcus is asking them questions. I gotta call this man Mr. Marcus because it don't even sit right with my soul calling him Marcus on a first name basis. This man he a silver fox. So Mr. Marcus, he's talking to Paul and Donovan, and he's asking them, what are your intentions of, being with Carmen? Donovan gives a very plain and simple answer. I think he's a entertainer, but he definitely don't want to walk away with her at the end of this. Donovan says his intentions are just to compliment her life, just make her happy, just, chill. We chilling. Okay. He said we chilling in the most beautiful way. And then Paul says, my intentions are, make her my lady for a little while, make her my fiance for a little while. And then I had to pause for that long because that's how long this man took to say. And then make her my wife. Paul, that sound good, but you took too long to say it. You took too long to say it. I don't know if you really want to make this lady your wife or if it was just something that you thought sounded better than what Donovan said. So Marcus was like, oh, okay. Well, what you should know is that, Carmen's really about that life. She's going to be around lots of men, lots of ballers, men and women. You're going to be confident to be her. And they say, yeah, that's no problem. Donovan says, I'm cool with that. I'm secure. Paul says, I've been through that. I'm in that life. We said, what you do for work, Paul? He said, I'm a computer analyst. Paul, you're not in the nightlife like that. And I don't know why Carmen is in the nightlife like that. Because at some point in time, there has to be an expiration date to how long your ass is staying out in the club. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. It gets to a point to where you will go from hanging in the club with all the ballers and everybody to then out aging the crowd. And then that's when you go take your ass to a lounge. That's when you take your ass to a day party and you home by 7 and in the bed so you can get up at 6:30, work out, and go to work. So I don't know. That's my point. Maybe computer analyst is more her speed because one day you're gonna age out of this. You're gonna age out of this. So I don't know. Let's not Sean Paul. It's funny. Y'all tell me this. I always felt like Paul was the clown of this season from the beginning. But as time went on, I was like, maybe we don't have clowns. And then we start seeing, y'all know who I feel like is a new clown. And y'all tell me if I'm tripping. But I feel like there's a new clown who went unnoticed for a long time. And that's Tory. Tory is the clown. He always had clown tendencies, but because of the women actually being into him, nobody really paid attention to it. Nobody paid attention to it. The clown is Tory. The clown is Tory. Y'all are saying it's Laverne. Yeah, it's Laverne. It's Laverne, but it's Tory for me. It's Tory for me. Okay. And I'm glad y'all didn't say that. It's Tory for me. You done went from talking about the kidneys from the beginning to kissing Precious to get back at Sabrina. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. I don't think any man needs to talk about the length of his penis that much. You either about it or you're not. Okay, BDE or little BDE or little DE. Okay, and that's what Tory is giving to me. So we get to the first person where like the ex made me go, Ace, you need to run the block. Ace, you need to run the block one more time, okay? You got clown number 1 to your left, Laverne. Clown number 2 to your second right, Tory. Girl, run the block one more time. And I think you need to. You called your ex your best friend at the end. You're like, hey, best friend, best friend. That's what I need you to do, Ace, because Laverne is not it. Tory is not it. You need to run the block, okay? So that was the first note I took. I was like, number 2, the next thing I noticed was whenever they hugged, she said, hey, they embraced, and she said, you could tell he smelled good. He probably smelled good. She really just, they were exchanging energy. The way she hugged, I was like, wow. yes. Abby, when he said, yeah, if I had a canvas, I'd draw you right now. He moved his hands out like this. I was like, you can draw me? Okay. So, anyway, they match aesthetically. I think that Ace and this guy, they would probably, house would be smelling like incense. They be burning sage in the house, windows be up. You have some good soulful music in the background. Every day in their house feel like a Sunday. If they were together, that's the energy that I feel like they would give. Okay, they waking up in the morning, they meditating, lighting candles. Ace, run the block. Okay, I don't know what you're doing with these clowns on the show. So anyway, Laverne shows up. He says that he's 0% jealous. He's never been jealous of a man in his life. He could be sitting in the room with Barack Obama and Jay-Z, and he's still gonna be the flyest man in the room. Okay, dope dudes, but they ain't got nothing on me. Laverne, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why you ain't the one. Because you almost didn't even believe it when you said it. You knew when you said if you was in the room with Daisy and Barack, you knew that didn't sit right with your soul. It didn't. Okay, it was not convincing at all when you said that. So that's when that's strike 2 or 3 when I knew something was wrong with you, Laverne, for you to say you could be sitting in the room with Barack and Jay-Z. I don't know what your obsession is with the Obamas, because then you called Ace your Michelle, but you still seem to be tripping on Joy a little bit. So he says that, Tory and the other guy is just a spectator. Tory then shows up. When he does, Laverne starts talking about, does he want kids? Or he's asked the question, does he want any more kids? Because he already has 2. He says, yeah, if she's down to have more kids, I will. I'll be taking my ginseng. I'll be having to make sure I wear the right pants, because when she come around, the blood be flowing. Man, you disgust me. You disgust me. Not you talking to another man about getting erect when Ace comes around. Is that supposed to be a good look or what? And Ace was like, Ace, Acey Pooh, that's not it. Ace, you're much better than that, okay? Harold said Laverne showed his ass out this episode. Here, it confirmed everything I've been saying about him this whole season. He has a God complex and feels like women should drop to his knees and worship him. Facts. And if I hear y'all say one more motherfucking time, if I hear y'all say one more time, Ace is my piece, I will throw this whole laptop across the room, okay? I don't understand. Well, let's be real. I do understand, okay? Y'all keep saying that Ace is your piece because you don't know shit else about her. Y'all don't know anything else about Ace. It wasn't until this episode that I feel like I heard her say enough words to fit in a paragraph. When she was like, yeah, we were on a date, and I was like, go best friend. Hey, you better check him, boo. And I was like, who is this talking? Y'all tell me, were y'all shook that were y'all shook that Ace put enough words together for a paragraph? And that's no shade to Ace. Maybe they haven't been showing you talk like that. But that's enough to tell me that every time they say Ace is my piece, they're just getting this Ace. The Ace that's like this, the Ace that likes yoga. Not the go best friend. That's the regular Ace, okay? When Ace was dancing, 1 or 2 episodes back in the club and twerking, y'all only speak to one Ace because y'all don't know who she is. So, Tory, boy, go sit down. They want to know who is the alpha out of all of them. I think Tory answers this question a really good way. No matter how lame he is, I think he did a better job than Laverne on this date. So the ex, let me get his name. Y'all, I didn't even get this man's name. Shaking my head. Her fine ex, let's just say that. He ends up asking Tory, are you an alpha? Because I feel like Laverne is an alpha and Ace is an alpha. So would you be dominating her in a relationship? And Tory answers very good. And he says, I don't think that relationships are about dominating your lady. They're about, complimenting her, something of that sort. But basically, he said he doesn't want to dominate her. And I think he gave a good answer. So the verdict, he said something like, if you want to lead, you be with Tory. But if you want to be led, go with Laverne. But ultimately, it was her choice to decide, is what he ended up saying. My verdict is that you need to run a block back. Go call your ex one more time and see if he could draw a picture of you. Tell him to come over. Be like, hey, I need you to draw an intimate picture of me. Okay. I'm gonna be in the room. Yes, that's what I need her to do. Okay, so let's move on to Sabrina and her ex Milton. When I saw Milton, I was like, y'all dead ass wrong. Y'all need to stop naming these men after their granddaddies. Okay? Milton. Hi, my name's Milton. Anyway, Milton is dark-skinned and bearded, okay? Which is very similar to Demetrius. Demetrius, the longer, I just can't help y'all, okay? I gotta be honest with y'all. I ain't here to talk shit the whole time. A little bit. Not the whole time. A little bit. Rodney said that's my cousin's name. Rodney, Is your cousin named after his granduncle? Tell me. I bet he is. I bet he is. Okay. And then Laverne and Milton. Milton. Why you leaving that door open? That's just the vibes I'm getting. Okay. But I was saying, the more that I see Demetrius, the more I'm like, this is odd. Something is off. It must be the eyebrows. One of y'all on here pointed out that he didn't have any eyebrows, but he has a whole beard. And people are saying that his beard is a lace front. And I didn't believe it at first, but now the longer that I look at him and I notice that he don't have any eyebrows, I'll be like, damn, is that really a lace front? Because it might be. I hate that y'all ruined that for me. Because I never was like, oh, he's fine. I never thought that about Demetrius. But now I find myself always wondering, is that a lace beard? But whatever. So I literally took no notes on this date. I just looked. All I said was Demetrius, both bald and bearded. I didn't say nothing on this date. Like nothing at all. I think the only thing that Milton brought to light was that Sabrina likes things to go her way or something like that. But I didn't take no notes. I don't know why Demetrius is still on the show, y'all. I don't think Joy was wrong for asking. Like, I thought she was wrong for saying why he was there, but Demetrius, I don't know what's going on with you and Sabrina, because it's about nothing. So next, we see Milton again, and he is introduced to both Tory and Donovan. Tory said, I'm the type of guy where, I never let people see me sweat. I wear a smile through everything. Me, like y'all up here shaking in his motherfucking boots. Tory has nothing to say on this date. He hides everything with a smile because he's just so cool and calm. That was a lie. Okay, we found out that was a lie. So Donovan crashes the date. Sabrina lights up. This is that picture that y'all see of her. And she's like, he comes looking so big and he's just so sweet and he brings the flowers. And they ask, or Donovan, okay, this is impressive. Donovan ends up asking Milton a question about Sabrina. And it shows that he's actually invested in taking the opportunity to learn more about her. Whereas Tory is trying to play so cool that he ain't got nothing to say. So Donovan says, what is it that you think she wants in a relationship? And give me a 5 second because my dog give me 10 seconds, okay? Y'all like Okay, I'm back. So I hope y'all had a chance to like the video. But Donovan, he takes control of the conversation. He asks, what is it that she's looking for in a relationship? And apparently, Sabrina works in social justice. So she wants somebody who can stand by her side and encourage her to fight for Black and brown people. And, they low-key forgot that Tory was even there. Tory was just sitting there sipping his ice water, not saying nothing. So the ultimate verdict was that Tory just doesn't fit. He feels like she can build with Demetrius, but ultimately Donovan wins by a blowout when it comes to who can make her happy. I want to know why Milton thinks that she can build with Demetrius. Like, does Demetrius have more money than him? What is it? Because Demetrius is very much just giving air. Very much just giving air. So finally, y'all, we get to the last X. And when we do, it's Tina. I keep forgetting that Tina is even on the show. And I told y'all, if y'all have been watching my reviews from the beginning, I felt like it was something that was a little off about Tina. The fact that whenever we first met her, she said that she was in a toxic relationship and all this other stuff. Something tells me that I need to go back and see what I said word for word. I need to go back and see what I said. But I said something along the lines of like, she had to contribute to it. And I'm not blaming women at all or victim blaming. Okay, let's not go there. I'm just saying something about her personality type and the way that she was so forthcoming about her toxic situation was very much giving that she's used to toxic relationships. Okay. And that's what we found out in this date. So in this date, she ends up meeting Paul and Demetrius, and they meet her ex named BJ. Flag number 2. Red flag number 1 was that she came on the show and said she was in a toxic relationship. It wasn't with BJ, it was with somebody else. But red flag number 2 is that your ex is named BJ. 2 letters. I want to know. I want to know. Why is he just going by 2 letters? Okay, whatever. So, Paul notices that the ex, BJ, is young. So he's like, don't y'all remember when she was like, oh, I've been dating old men my whole life. When I was in middle school, I dated high schoolers. When I was in high schoolers, I dated college, yada, yada, yada. She was trying to flex when she first met Paul, making it seem like all she did was date older men. Then you come bringing this young man. And Demetrius ends up arriving. Paul is like, why is he here? Because he didn't know about the connection, right? So Demetrius, ultimately, what they both end up finding out, they ask why the relationship ended, and BJ mentioned something about, it was 2003, 2004, and there was a cracked phone, and the door busted open, and Tina says, well, he was creeping and cheating around on her and all this stuff. And then BJ says that Tina is known for ghosting. She'll ghost for, hey, Ashley Mar, she'll ghost for 6 months, for a year, and they won't talk. And just the way that Tina and BJ interacted, I feel like Tina has a toxic cycle of going back to men, dating the same men, being in these ghetto, I'm gonna just call it ghetto. And I don't mean it in like a racist type of way. I mean like hood love. Like I've done some ghetto shit before. I told y'all about that one thing on Ladies First panel when I went knocking on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Is she in the house? But y'all, I was like 16 or 17. Okay. But something tells me that Tina does this like in her 30s. That you were the type of the girl who would, ride past your house, smack your chick, just to show you Monica not having it. That's the type of girl Tina is giving me, Yes. So gone. She's giving so gone. Okay. She's giving Monica is her favorite artist with the relationships that I have been seeing with her and what she says about her history. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I like Monica too, but that ain't my life. Okay? I imagine me doing hood shit over love. Okay. Goodness. That's what Tina is giving. Now I'm thinking about all the Monica songs in my head. I was on that receiver. She be on that receiver. That's what she's giving. But okay. And just the way that her and BJ were talking about their relationship, it just still felt like something was there. Like it was just something unfinished. So either way it goes, both Demetrius and Paul leave the date not feeling any more confident about Tina, but only feeling like they were unsure if she was ready to love. So I can tell y'all that's who's probably going home next week if it's not DeKia. So finally, y'all, the ladies meet up in the ladies' lounge, and basically they have to decide who they're feeling, who they're not feeling. And all of the ladies come to the decision that they're not feeling Laverne. And Ace is really just sitting there, not saying nothing. She can't defend him another time. So basically, we get Laverne, and this is what I'm loving. I told y'all it was some weird. Okay, the only thing, or one of the few things, because I was wrong about some things. One of the few things I felt was wrong with Laverne was as soon as Sabrina turned him down, if you notice, every single men's lounge, when they said, who are you not feeling? Laverne was gutting to get Sabrina up out of there only because she didn't want to date you. Like, Just because one girl didn't want to date you, you wanted to send her home because you knew that everybody else was feeling her. That was weird to me. And for that reason, I'm glad that Sabrina was actually paired with you on this date to send your ass home. Well, he did go home to send your ass home. So let's start there. So, oh, y'all, I forgot all about DeKia and Terrence. Do y'all even care? Do y'all even care? DeKia and her ex Terrence, her and Clifton was acting like they had relations more than they really did. Boop, whoop, 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 whoop. Let's move on. So anyway, um, like I said, Laverne shows up to the date and Sabrina reaches out for a hug. And whenever she does, he daps her up. And she was like, oh, so we're hugging. Like, no, I don't need to do that. You can go ahead and get this over with because I already heard what y'all wanted to do. Y'all been plotting. I've been hearing that you, Sabrina, DeKia, and Tina, y'all all want to get me out. And I've been hearing about it. He pulled up like a bitch. I'm sorry, y'all. He pulled up like a female. Don't no man need to run up on me acting like he got tea on me. You think you gonna stunt on me? That's what he was trying to do with that's what he's trying to do with Sabrina. So he daps her up. Sabrina's like, you know what? Your energy really ugly. Can we just have a conversation? And I can tell you what really happened. And that's where he goes, no, we don't need to have a conversation because I already heard. Okay. And as Sabrina's walking away, she's cussing like, nah, don't disrespect me. I feel like you're trying to punk me. She was absolutely right because he was trying to punk you, Sabrina. That's where Laverne says, Precious told me that y'all were plotting. For a second, I was like, damn, I hope Ace didn't say nothing because that would be hella lame for Ace to say something. But once he said Precious said something, I was like, is he lying? But y'all, we have to remember, Precious is a pick-me. Precious and her bang. Precious and her bang have never had a man make her feel the way that Paul had her feeling. So I do believe it. I believe Precious was calling him on the phone, kikiing, pillow talking on some female type ish, and telling him that the girls were not feeling him. It wasn't a plot. Laverne, people don't think about you that way. Okay. So I believe him. I don't think Ace told him. I think that it was Precious. So he ends up going home. I don't even think she got to say you are not ready to love. They try to get him to go apologize to her, and he says he ain't gonna apologize because she was the one that's plotting. Good life, Laverne. I cannot wait to see Laverne act the ass on the reunion because y'all know damn well he will. And the other thing, what happened to Ace being Michelle Obama, Beyonce? What happened to Ace being your peace? And you couldn't even be at peace being sent home. But if you knew that Ace was the one for you, why would it have mattered if you stayed on the show till the end? If you already came there and you met your peace, why wouldn't you just go home gracefully because you already got Ace's number? There's something wrong with that man, okay? And then on the other day, we have DeKia and Tory. DeKia, she ends up, giving him little feedback. The ladies think you're still ready to love, Tory, with your lame ass. Tory ends up staying. And now that DeKia is desperate for a connection, she is on a date with her best friend's cousin's little brother, who she be seeing at the house. And now she's starting to see him as more attractive because she's saying, DeKia, don't do this. DeKia, you are much better than this. Don't do this. You're not desperate enough to pick up the lowest hanging fruit on the ground, which is Tory right now. No shade to you, Tory, even though we've been throwing shade. No shade to you by calling you lower hanging fruit. Y'all know what I mean by that. DeKia, don't do this. Okay? Eric is gone. Clifton belongs to Joy. It ain't nobody there for you. It's not Tory. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. It don't have to be a thing. Okay, so we're going to see what happens next week with that being said, y'all know what time it is. It's time to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. We are back with season 4. Okay, I'm so happy we're back with season 4. Y'all like the video? We can hop into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Not a whole lot happened, but I think it was a pretty good first episode. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, y'all. I hope y'all had a chance to like the video. Anybody who's a mod, if you would, please time mark this in the comments and let everybody know who's on playback. If they're here for Love and Marriage Huntsville, if you're watching this on playback, then it starts at 51:30 something. And if you were here for Ready to Love, then you saw it at the beginning. So now, another thing I forgot to say in the beginning of the video, I posted the pictures from the bridal shower and I saw a lot of y'all comment. I want to say thank y'all for the kind comments. Another thing I wanted to say, I think it was you, Rodney, or it was somebody else. Somebody hit me up on Twitter to check on me yesterday because they heard that it was supposed to be tornadoes all throughout Texas. Luckily, we were safe. It was just rain and wind. So thank you for checking on me, okay? Now, Love and Marriage Huntsville. The episode starts out. Tisha and Marsau are at dinner. Another cringe dinner. Another season. Where's my microphone? There we go. Another season of having to look at Tisha. Just, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with her physically. I'm just saying Tisha looks beautiful, number one. Okay, the confessional look was given, but in these scenes with your husband, I second every time I see y'all together on screen. Every time. First, we find out that Marsau went to Africa alone. He allowing him to go to Africa alone because he really needed to take the time to just be by himself and take off of work. Tisha is, at the same time, while she's acting like she's confident of him going to Africa, at the same time, while she's acting like she's confident, she's also feeling insecure. I've never been to Africa before. You could have asked me. You didn't ask me how I felt about going to Africa. And he says, I just needed to clear my mind. Now, we just saw him in counseling last season or the season before that. And if y'all want to be all the way real, I think that Marsau overworks because he doesn't want to be a husband. He doesn't want to be a husband. Okay. He believes whatever image he has in his mind for what a father is, everybody has different images, is literally to pay the bills. And that's what he's doing. Tisha says she feels like a single parent sometimes. So Marsau is running away from what he doesn't want to do, which is to be a husband. Okay. So anyway, this man goes to Africa alone. He might have went to Africa alone, but Tisha, where else did he go? How long was he gone? And I'm not here trying to shit on your marriage, but what y'all think in the comments? Okay, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Say it again, J-Dub. Say it again, Naturally Mar. Okay, say it again. Phones don't work in Africa. He didn't want his phone to work. He did not want to be with his wife and children. Not understanding. Naturally Mar. Marsau can take time to go to Africa, but not take his family on vacation. Say it again. I'm just like, I don't know. So I'm just like, whatever. We really gonna do this again for another season? Talk about how Marsau don't want to be a husband, but whatever. Next thing that they start talking about right after talking about Africa is that Marsau says in order to be more available to his family, he needs a chief of staff. Not any old chief of staff, not some old man with many years of experience, but he wants a female chief of staff. He can't have a man chief of staff. Why is that? What was the reason? Why is that, Marsau? Why do you have to have a female chief of staff? This is not 1950s and every single woman is entering the workforce by becoming a receptionist. I'm not understanding. Tisha knows what battle she can win with you, which is why she didn't argue with you too long about whether or not your chief of staff could be male or female. All she simply said was, okay, well, let me choose her, because you don't need anybody young. You need somebody older than you. Tisha, y'all just wait and see. If Marsau ends up hiring a chief of staff, that's not going to make him go home for the additional time that he's taking off of work. That's going to allow him more freedom to do whatever he's already been doing. I don't know what he's been doing, so take that how you will. But he ain't going to be home the whole time, because I feel like his obligation is not to be a husband. And I don't know. I can't comment on his fatherhood, but what I've been seeing, I don't think his obligation is to be a husband. So now Tisha starts talking about the picture. She says, well, you messy for the picture. And I got the vibe that Marsau and Tisha have agreed to talk about certain things on camera and certain things off camera. I think that Tisha was upset by his comment about him saying that he needed to have a female chief of staff. I think that she was upset that he was mentioning going to Africa alone, because she knew that we were going to do this, speculate. So she decided to mention the picture, even though we knew the picture was going to be top of a conversation. I just think that Marsau had the understanding that Tisha wouldn't be speaking on the picture. That if it came up, and when I say the picture, y'all know what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about it in a second. This is the picture I'm talking about. But I think that he just didn't want Tisha to bring it up, but she brought it up to get back at him. So he's telling her, stop it. We're not going to talk about this. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Right? And she's like, and then she stops. But yeah, you know, she did do this. And then she starts laughing again. He's like, stop it. And then she just, y'all, that was the cringiest shit I had seen in my life in a long time on TV. That was the cringiest thing that I had saw. Tisha sitting there laughing, giddy. He tells you, stop it. And then you start laughing again like this. Y'all, that was cringy AF. But whatever. Earth to LaTisha, say it again. Harold, I have to agree with you 100%. So anyway, like I told y'all, Tisha's confessional look was cute. She had the Barbie ponytail with the blue eyeshadow, with the blue dress and the glove. She looked cute, okay? So I have to give you that, Tisha, because I know we're going to be on your ass this whole season talking about you. So let me go ahead and give you credit where it's due, girl. You look cute, okay? So next, y'all, we see Martell and Louis, and Martell is doing what he always do. I see you got your clown mask on like you always do, Martell. And Martell is talking about Mel yet again, okay? Martell cannot breathe without talking about Mel. I need you to get a damn life. So he shows up talking about Mel, and he has a but ain't been answering the phone, so it's making it hard for him to fulfill his duties, yada, yada, yada. He then starts talking about, you know, Mel says she gave me 5 years in her song. We still talking about the song, Martell. We still talking about the Mel done dropped 3 songs since then. So what he wants y'all is to have shared blame for the demise of his marriage, for the end of his marriage. He wants Mel to take shared blame. At this point, Martell, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Martell. We don't give a F. We don't give a damn. In no way, okay? We don't care. The cake has been baked, okay? We don't care at this point, Martell, if Mel has shared blame. If Mel cheated on you, it was on some get back, okay? Hey, Stoney, hey, girl. It was some get back. We don't care, okay? You cheated on her. You had a side piece. You had a baby. Mel don't have no outside babies. Y'all are divorced now. We can stop talking about it. But no, that's what he has to do. So the other thing that they start talking about is Louis starts talking about what happened at the reunion. They start talking about transparency. They also mentioned Marsau. Lewis says, you know, they were upset last season that Lewis was pillow talking with his wife about what Marsau had said about Tisha. If y'all didn't watch last season, it wasn't really that deep. Marsau was having a conversation with the men and told the men that Tisha isn't as confident as she used to be. Says something else, I don't remember what it was, because that's how much of a non-factor it was. Lewis's wife Lewis then goes and tells his wife what was said out of Tisha's husband's mouth. Then they end up telling Tisha. And then they find out at the dinner table, and Marsau is telling him what's against bro code, what's not against bro code. You don't need to be repeating to my wife what I told you. And Lewis was saying, you really want to know what's not against or not, you know, up to par with bro code is you posting pictures of your brother. And that's what we're going to get to. So you posting pictures of your brother. So at the reunion, y'all, I have a review up for it. Go look. At the reunion, they were asking the men, have y'all ever been around to see Ariane and Martell interact? Does it seem like they're in love? Marsau said yes. He's been in the same room as Martell and Ariane. Maurice says no, period. He didn't explain any further. Maurice says no. And y'all, keep in mind, we're going to talk about the conversation that he had with Kimmy. Apparently, Maurice told Kimmy, if you ever ask me a direct question, I will never lie to you. At the reunion, the question was not direct. At the reunion, Carlos said to them, have you ever been in the same room as Martell and Ariane to see what they are like together, or to see what the vibe is, or to see if they're in love? He said something along those lines. Maurice said, no. So if you really want to get technical, he's saying no to seeing if they were lovebirds or seeing what they were like together, not no to being in the same room with each other. So I guess Marsau felt some type of way that he could admit to being complicit with Martell cheating while Maurice blatantly lied. So Marsau posted this picture of them in the club back in 2015. And around the time that the picture was posted, you know, your girl Tasha K, she did an interview with Ariane Curry. I don't know if Ariane said this on the interview or if Ariane said this on live. Either way it goes, I remember when she said it, so I searched it up and I found this quote from Gossip. It's not their quote. I'm just telling y'all where the picture came from. So anyway, this is in Ariane's voice, okay? So I'm gonna read it. Ariane says, this is a trip when Maurice was fucking his linebacker looking big. The next morning, we went to Raise on the River for brunch. They all lie so much and got to mention me to stay relevant. Facts. Okay? They're using my likeness. They're using my likeness. She says, I was here. I about took the picture. I just didn't show up. I was invited. What'd she say? I didn't just show up. Let me start over. I was here. I about took the picture. I didn't just show up. I was invited. And I couldn't believe the linebacker Maurice was sexing. I immediately went upstairs and asked Martell, what does Kimmy look like? Because I couldn't believe my eyes. Now, I believe Ariane 100%. And I think that I talked to y'all about this on live. So I do believe Maurice was in Atlanta in 2015, sexing on girls while Martell was sexing on Ariane. Do I believe it? 100% I believe it. Okay. Was the girl a linebacker? Probably so. Okay. It don't matter, right? So anyway, the point that I gave y'all, and this is what makes me wonder, Kimmy, girl, don't be mad at me, okay? I mean, girls like to tussle. Kimmy, you're so sweet. Don't be mad at me, Kimmy. But the point that I was making to y'all last season was the tea that Ariane gave was cold, to me at least. I feel like it's well understood that Martell, Marsau, and Maurice are grown boys. Okay. Now, I don't know if they are currently. So let me repeat this. I feel like it was well known. And even when we talked to Kimmy, and Kimmy was on live, she said that Maurice was sowing oats all over wherever he was before she got with him. She knew man was for the streets before he became her husband. We know that about Martell. We speculate that about Marsau. So I didn't feel like the tea was piping hot because he wasn't a married man. Most men who I know that are hoes that get married, they're for the streets all the way until they get married. And then once they get married, the things that they do are in secret. Y'all have to know at least a couple women who tolerate this. Everybody knows a girl who's in a relationship with a man. They've been together for a long ass time. Her man does whatever he wants to do until one day he gets older. He wants to be taken care of. He marries her. But everybody knows that they be for the streets. And I feel like that's exactly who Maurice was. So the tea wasn't that hot to me. Now, is it disappointing that he cheated on her? Yeah, it is disappointing because they had been together for a long time. They were living together, but they weren't married. So I think that Kimmy either thought the same thing as me or she took a page out of my review. I didn't think that the tea was that hot. Did he cheat? By definition, like Kimmy said, right? So Kimmy and Maurice, we finally see them. Kimmy, you look good AF in your confessional with the shoulders and the ponytails. The girls are giving ponytails this season. And she says that she needs to get her unconditional love from children and from pets. She got a new dog. He's super cute. And they start talking about this picture in the backyard. Maurice, I explained to y'all what the picture was. Marsau was just proving that Maurice was there. That's whenever Kimmy says that he was cheating by definition, and Maurice says that it was just rumors. Kimmy then sets herself up to not get a direct answer. Kimmy, you too smart. You're too smart, Kimmy. You were too smart to ask him the question the way that you did. So Kimmy tells us, Reese, you always said to me, if I asked you a direct question, you would never lie to me, right? I just told y'all how Carlos made a mistake by not asking Maurice a direct question on the reunion. Now, pay attention to how Kimmy made this mistake. So he said, yeah, I did tell you that. Go ahead and ask me the question. Kimmy says, did you sleep with a linebacker? Kimmy, that's not direct enough. That's not direct enough, Kimmy, because Maurice then goes into, well, just think about this. No, why me and a linebacker? Maurice, you know it is not too far-fetched for you to be dating a full-figure woman. Your ex-wife is a full-figure woman. And I'm not calling her a linebacker because that's Ariane being disrespectful. Let's not act like you don't date women with a little extra meat on them. Okay, so Kimmy, you messed up because you asked if he had sex with the linebacker. Linebacker is non-specific. What if Maurice did not consider that woman to be a linebacker? You should have asked Maurice, when you were in Atlanta in 2015, in the picture that has been online, and Ariane said that you were at the house, did you cheat on me? Period. Or you should have asked him a couple direct questions. Did you see Ariane in Atlanta? Were you in a house with other women? Did you cheat on me? The questions weren't direct enough, in my opinion. But Kenny, there's your household. I don't know if that's something that you want to talk about on TV because you know that people are going to, while it is a big deal that he cheated on you, people are going to blow this into epic proportions to make it seem like it's something along the lines of what Mel and Martell went through. The reason why I don't think it's along the lines, y'all, don't think that I'm condoning cheating. I'm not condoning cheating at all. I simply told y'all she knew he was sowing oats before he got with her. I feel like Maurice is the type of man who looks at marriage in a different way than he does a girlfriend. He cheated on her at the time because she was his girlfriend. So it's probably something that she doesn't want to talk about, because as his wife, she's able to turn a blind eye to it and say, well, at least it happened before we got married. So she don't want to know the answer to it, y'all. And that's okay. That's on her. That's okay. That's on her and Maurice to figure out. Rennie says Kimmy asked the question in a way that she wouldn't get an honest answer. She knew what she was doing. Naturally, Martin says he's not a good liar. We knew he was lying. Deshaun says Kimmy flipped that situation back on Tisha. Girl, we gonna get there. Girl, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Okay. So, J-Dub, Kimmy didn't want to know the truth. Blah 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 blah. And Ayana, you were exactly right. He wasn't going to answer that question on camera. He wasn't. I just felt like that was very much wasting my time. So next, y'all, we see Destiny and Tisha. They have a friendship. Destiny's in the damn studio where she ain't got no business being. Destiny, girl was sounding flat as a damn ground. You can't sing. You ain't got them vocals. I'm sorry. I never knew that she used to sing. She said she was getting back into singing. So we find out that she hasn't spoken to Mel because of the LA incident. And I'm going to go through this part a little bit fast because I really want to get back to Kimmy and Marsau and Maurice and Tisha. So anyway, there was an LA incident. In LA, after they filmed the reunion, we find out that Tisha and Destiny were inside a hotel room where Mel was staying next door. Mel could hear Tisha and Destiny talking about what had just happened at the reunion. Mel knew that they were talking about her because Tisha said, oh yeah, she is Scorpio. So Destiny claims that, she wasn't really talking shit. She says that Mel told her, I'm not upset about what you said. I'm more so upset about you talking to my enemy. So I guess that's Destiny's way of telling Tisha that she's the enemy. Insanely iconic, you are 100% right. They're only friends because they both don't like Mel. But y'all want to be nice nasty with Mel because y'all know she got clout that she carries to show on her motherfucking back. So I feel like that's exactly what they're doing. They're being nice nasty. So on the other side of things, we see Kimmy and Mel meet up, and this is where they start talking about the LA incident. But before they talk about the LA incident, Mel has to check on her girl because the streets have been talking. You right, Harold. She was flat like unsweet tea, okay? The bag tea, okay? She got that right off the stove and brewed. It didn't have a bit of sweetness to it at all. No lemon, no nothing. So they started talking about Marsau. What was Marsau thinking by posting that picture? And this is kind of where I feel like it's a little bit giving that you want to deflect. It's giving deflect. I feel like we are deflecting from the actual issue at hand, which is what the fuck was Maurice doing at the house with the linebacker? And it's turned into what was Marsau thinking? Thank you so much. It was the Kaleidoscope commercial for me. Fake friends. Facts. Y'all don't like each other? Facts. So anyway, y'all, here we go. Where was I at? I lost my train of thought just like that. Help me out, somebody. Yes, there we go. So they turned the conversation into what was Marsau thinking? And you can tell Mel is open to talking about it a little bit more, but Kimmy is not really. Kimmy's kind of holding back. Kimmy doesn't want to say anything to allude to the fact that she's mad at her man. Y'all know damn well Kimmy cussed this man out as soon as the cameras left, right? But she knew that it was going to be something that she was going to have to talk about on TV. But she knows to navigate the conversation in a way to where it's not on, to where the whole season isn't about Marsau, what were you doing in the Airbnb with the linebacker? Kimmy is navigating the conversation into, I'm going to throw you under the bus, Marsau, because we gonna talk about you the whole season, not necessarily what my husband was doing. Marsau, that was irresponsible of you to throw your brother under the bus like that. That's what she was turning the conversation into. So anyway, she says she believes her husband. She has no problem believing her husband. And by her saying that, I felt like that was her way of deading the conversation with Mel. Like, yeah, Mel, I hear you, but I'm letting you know that there's no issues in my home, but my issue is with his brother. That was her way of doing that. And she also said, Mel then asked her, and I feel like this was Mel trying to say, like, girl, I know you believe him, but if he did it, how do you feel about it? And that's where Kimmy says, well, we weren't married at the time, but if we were married, that's definitely a deal breaker for me. Very smart. Watch the way they navigate this conversation. Kimmy, you know damn well, Kimmy, Miss Kimmy, you know good and well that there's a high probability that this man was in the Airbnb with a linebacker, which is why, hold on, let me not go there yet. You know, it's a high probability that this man was in the room with the linebacker, right? But you also know that you are not going to reprimand him in any way that's serious because y'all weren't married, because that is something that you are okay turning a blind eye to. However, because you know it didn't happen while y'all were married, that's your answer. You and Marsau talk like lawyers. Y'all are so good at that. For real, for real. So, yeah. Deshaun said, but I was living together, right? Yes. Mel was very much given like, girl, I know you're trying to play this like you don't give a damn, but you should really give a damn. That's what Mel was giving. So you were so right. But okay. Okay, so now y'all, she invites Kimmy to a slumber party and she lets her know that Tisha nor Destiny are invited, okay? So let's move on to that, to actually moving into the fun part of the episode, the last 10 minutes of the episode. So the last 10 minutes of the episode, we are invited to a Scott dinner. And I'm saying we because we were watching it on screen and I really just be feeling like a fly on the wall sometimes. So, yep. Naturally Mar. Woo. Okay. Yep. Y'all peep that. Anyway, we're invited to a Scott dinner. Marsau, Tisha, Scott, I was gonna say Scott. Marsau and Tisha, Maurice and Kimmy, and the other brother and his wife. So they're all cute. They talking about, you know, when food is ready, yada yada yada. But Kimmy jumps right on into it. So Marsau, what were you thinking when you posted the picture? And they're like, whoa, you're just gonna get right into it, huh? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get right into it. And Maurice says, you know, I didn't think that by me posting the picture involved you. And when he said that, everybody was like, what? You didn't think? How did you not think that it was going to involve Kimmy? Y'all, answer me this. How many times have we seen Kimmy have to fight her own battles on this show in regards to were you the side chick or were you not? I have never seen Maurice so unified for Kimmy's cause anytime it comes to her defending something. I've never seen Maurice so unified in what Kimmy had to say, because this shit actually involved him. It involves him potentially, maybe, allegedly getting caught up in some stuff. He never fought like that when it came to her having to defend herself on being a side chick. So anyway, next, they're like, you didn't think that was gonna evolve. How did you not think that? And he says, well, you know, honestly, I just thought that it was gonna be proof that you were complicit, not, you know, alluding to the fact that you were cheating. And basically, they just said it was irresponsible, yada, yada, yada. So they go from there to all of a sudden, they don't want to talk about what Maurice had done. If it's not enough that Maurice and Kimmy are upset, let's get your wife involved. Let's pull a trigger there. Let's touch a soft spot where we know that it's easy to trigger Tisha. So they decided to trigger Tisha. They said, Tisha, that didn't bother you? It didn't bother you that he posted that picture because of what people say about y'all? Because y'all know Tisha be in the comments. And that's where Tisha decides to stick by her husband's side. And she tries not to get triggered. Yes, naturally, Mar. I noticed that too. The sister-in-law definitely had a side eye. So Tisha, instead of going for the bait because she's been trained so well by her husband, she's no, it didn't really bother me because, you know, it is what it is. People want to say whatever they want to say. Tisha, we've known you for 4 seasons at this point. When have we ever seen you say it is what it is? Okay, girl, your husband can't drop over a bottle of chocolate champagne to Mel. Okay, and we've never seen you say it is what it is. Whatever. That was just her trying not to bite the bait, because what they were trying to do is, we want to prove that you were so wrong, Marsau, that we're going to trigger your wife into jumping on our bandwagon. And the conversation will no longer be, did Maurice cheat? But the conversation will be, Marsau is dead as wrong for doing his brother like that. And also doing his wife like that. So she said it was no big deal, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they get turned up. They get really turned up. And I feel like they were so turned up. This is the only time. Okay. These two things don't apply. So don't think in any way, shape, or form that I'm agreeing with Tiffany. But if it was ever a time for Tiffany and Mel to say that Kimmy and Marsau were deflecting from the issue and trying to make it about somebody else instead of what was going on in their home, this was the time. I'm referencing last season. Last season, Tiffany mentioned that Kimmy and Marsau or Maurice were so hyped up about her gossiping about a kid because they wanted to deflect from the fact that Maurice didn't have conversations about what was going on with Monster to Kimmy. Now, not agreeing with Tisha, she shouldn't have been, not Tisha, not agreeing with Tiffany, she shouldn't have been talking about no damn child. But if it were ever a time to apply the logic that they were deflecting, the time is now. I feel like they were deflecting from the situation that was at hand to get Tisha on a bandwagon and, you know, not make us think about whatever Maurice was or was not doing when he was not married. So, either way it goes, y'all, Maurice gives his brother a soft threat. And he says, well, if we really want to go there, there's some things that I know that hasn't been said. And y'all, let me tell you why. Let me tell you the reason why Marsau ain't got to worry. Marsau ain't got to worry because they've done their dirt together. Okay. Nobody wants to have a shit fest of, you posted a picture of me, so I'm gonna tell your wife what I know, and then you tell my wife what they know too much about each other. But Maurice was threatening to play this game of, okay, you want to give a passive threat and post a picture of me in the club? I have enough in my back pocket to throw a passive threat at you. But brother, they ain't gonna do this on TV, y'all. One thing for sure though, they all was up to no good. Look at this picture. They all was up to no good. The episode ends there. It seems like we'll hear more about this whole picture and other things like that throughout the season. But overall, y'all, I think that this was a pretty interesting conversation. And as far as Mel and Destiny, the she said, let me start there. It ain't gonna take long. Destiny says that she was never talking shit about Mel when Mel claims that she overheard her. Mel tells Kimmy that Destiny actually admitted to talking shit about her. And that's why they aren't cool. Who do y'all believe? Y'all tell me in the comments. If I gotta be real with y'all, I believe Mel. I believe Destiny was in that room venting. Destiny, it's a blend of two truths. Destiny was in that room venting. Mel overheard her. So Destiny said, you know what? It did bother me when you did this and that, and I was talking about you. And Mel says, okay, that's no big deal. But I'm upset that you was talking to Tisha about me. If you was talking about me to anybody, it shouldn't have been that bitch because I can't stand her. So that's what happened. I think it's a blend of two truths. I absolutely think that Destiny is a weirdo. I'm gonna just call her a weirdo because I peeped it from jump. I told y'all last season, you came on this show as Martell's friend. You only aided in talking to Mel about her problems on camera. Meanwhile, you got an entire divorce, had a baby, did so many things, and didn't tell anybody until everything was settled. Then you had this weird ass argument with her about not having a village. It's very much giving clingy, very much giving, you know, you got more clout than me, so let me cling on to you. Just keep me around. And now you're singing. And now you're friends with Tisha. Shit's weird. That's weirdo behavior, 100%. Okay. So that's how I feel about Destiny at this point. Is what it is. And let me read this comment from Rennie. Rennie said, in that picture, they look like the dude that asked, hey, what you doing after this? Wooden Club. Hey, we about to roll by Fuel City. Y'all want to go to Fuel City and then meet back at my place? That's exactly what they was giving. Going to go get them corn cups from Fuel City when you standing in line at 3 o'clock in the morning after the club closed. Okay? That's what they giving. That's what they giving. And I'm saying Fuel City for the people. But yeah, he thinks Destiny is creeping with Martell. I don't think so. I don't think she is. I just think she's a bird. She's a bird. Harold says went the whole season without talking about her life. Yeah, it's very disappointing. Very disappointing. But y'all, we've been on for an hour and a half talking about 2 shows. Okay. I really appreciate y'all for joining today. I will see y'all Thursday to talk about Married at First Sight. And then, of course, over the weekend, we're going to be back to our regular, brunch schedule. I heard of another show called Marry Me. I saw that Jamie and Jay Lee were reviewing it. I don't know if I want to pick it up, okay? But if it's something else that y'all want to talk about, y'all go ahead and let me know. And with that being said, I love y'all. Shout out to y'all, okay? The schedule is going to be looking wonky for a couple weeks, so y'all keep y'all's notifications on, okay? Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and all that. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.